guys. Hope you enjoyed the replays. It's good to see everyone again. I appreciate all the support as always. As you can tell, very straightforward video. Life is just really busy. It's just very difficult for me to do what I used to do. But again, I'm going to keep trying to do my best to, fit it all in. So let's just get into the deck profile and talk about the deck. One of the most fun versions of heroes that I've been able to play in Duel Links for a very long time. Without being given direct hero support, we have been getting support from extra deck slots being added, a new skill, Precious Cards of the Dark, and I will explain why this skill has been pretty huge for the deck in general. But we haven't really gotten like specific cards for the archetype. It's been like kind of staples like Eclipse and Droplet and things like that. So Precious Cards of the Dark, the skill, the reason why we were able to go on a 12-0 win streak all the way to KOG. So I believe it started in Legend 3 and we went from like Legend 3 all the way up. It was just crazy. Basically what this deck does is you need 9 dark cards to fulfill the requirements, and then what happens at the beginning of your main phase, you can take any card you want, and you put it to the bottom of the deck. So you don't have to worry about like, oh, put it in the deck, draw it back. No, it goes to the bottom. You're not seeing that card ever again when you draw the new card. So that's insane, because then our garnets in the deck can be put back for more useful cards. And essentially it makes our hand go from 4 to 5, like digging into our deck 4 to 5, or 5 to 6, which is massive for this deck, because this deck is all 2-card combos for the most part. It's really hard for this deck to do anything effective with one card, with a 1-hero combo. So we don't really have that like in Master Duel. So the big thing is that you want to get to your Stratos, and then Stratos plus any hero means you can do your full combo, right? And if you see the increase, you can put it to the bottom, and then you can get a more useful card and do your thing. So that's really huge, and you can do that twice per duel, which is massive. So you can do it on the first turn, and then you can do it on your follow-up. And if you pass on not using the skill, it's fine. It's still there. It doesn't like go away. It's not like you have to use it on your first 2 turns. It's like you just get 2 uses. Do it whenever you want. But the drawback is you do have to make up your mind like at the beginning. So that being said, when I look at this deck, and I want to explain to you just a quick little tip about the deck, is that if you see a full combo hand, and you can do everything you need to do, and increase is not in your hand, don't be too greedy, because I have been greedy, and you get punished sometimes where like you'll put back a card that's kind of like whatever. It could be like a Miracle Fusion, but you still have like Ferris Stratos, and you're like totally fine. And then what happens is like you draw the increase, and then you're like, oh damn, that wasn't worth it, right? You went from having full combo, potential tech cards you could draw into, to almost nothing, right? So keep that in mind, that like if you have a good hand, don't get too greedy unless you want to take that risk. The only time I would advise taking a risk is that like if you're in a matchup where you're like, yeah, I can't win on just floating Sunrise, Wonder Driver, and some back row. So let's say your opening hand is full combo, but you've already got like 1 or 2 tech cards, and then you want to maybe say, okay, if I draw enough cards, I could get like a 3rd tech card, or I can get a 2nd tech card. That's enough, right? Like usually 2 Book of Eclipse, or Eclipse, a Mass Change, and like a Bluff, like you could like survive, without needing Plasma. Then I would say if you have those, don't high roll. But if you don't have these at all, and you're kind of just gambling on the liquid draw, but you can make Plasma, I would go for it. Like I would just go for it and just be like, if they answer it, they answer it. Like whatever. I mean, obviously there's some decks you have to be careful of, depending on what monsters you put out. Like obviously Predaplant, I tried it just to see what would happen. And it's like, yeah, it's just that deck is too broken. They just suck it up, kaiju it up, and feels bad, man. So, you do have to be careful of that kind of stuff. Super Poly is also a thing too. So there's some matchups where you do have to obviously just be considerate of that. But for the most part, this card is like our boss monster. If you can make it, make it. Most decks can handle it unless they draw their own Book of Eclipse or Droplet. All right. And that being said, hopefully, even if they do answer it, then they hopefully can't kill you. And if they can't kill you, then we do have a good chance with our skill to, make a push, make a comeback, because you should always be holding like follow-up after you do your combo, like a Miracle Fusion, with a liquid city engraved type of thing. So, the deck is pretty much the same. It has not really changed. The big thing has been the skill, allowing for more consistency, which is massive without getting direct archetype support. So again, that's been like the huge thing. The Mass Hero package has been doing quite well, just because what I've noticed in the game now is that a lot of decks have battle traps, So they have ways to like survive you like attacking with like even 4 dudes. Like sometimes it's like absurd where like Predaplant will like special summon, and then if you attack into it, then they can kill the monster that attacks, and then they have a card in the graveyard that like if it dies, it can banish itself and protect it from dying. And it's like there's a lot of these decks that have like built-in like survivability, which is like annoying. So Mass Change is like a great card for our deck to like help us play through that. Whereas we can Unga Bunga 4 dudes, and then they might think that they live, and then it's like, no, we go into Anki, and then Anki swings, and we get that other Mass Change, and then we can get a 6th attack in going into like Koga, and it's like, or you could set up by having like your Stratos still sitting there to go into Blast. Like it's really strong for allowing you to get in there and like finish off the game, because if you don't, you're dead. And another great thing about Mass Change is that it is good with Stratos to help you, play through Interruption when you try to summon that, and that's like one of your most important normal summons. And then making Blast, being able to like bounce like back row. A lot of people sometimes have like annoying like set 3, and you don't want to overcommit to your combo, but you have a Mass Change plus Stratos, and that's one way to like get a problem out of the way. So there's that, or you can set it up where like you go special summon Ferris, normal summon Stratos. They try to interrupt your Stratos when you're going for the, spell and trap removal. They flip something up. You can Mass Change first to see what they flip up next. If they don't flip anything, you're getting a pop 2 no matter what, plus Blast can get rid of the 3rd card. And if they do something, then you just use the increase to tribute over the Stratos, and you still get the pop 2. So in most cases, like having a Mass Change is like a great way to help you like play through disruption, and it's relatively safe. So what's been cool is that like not a lot of decks are punishing like Cosmic and MSTs, at least not what I'm experiencing. But yeah, these tech cards, as far as the books, so you can make these dropless if you want. I just found that the books were great for being like going first and second. But there's been times where like droplets are really good against like Ancient Warriors, and that would be like a nice card to have, because book, if they set up a guy who can have the spell and trap negate, the book's not going to cut it, right? And then they're burning you every turn, and then you die before you get to your combo. You basically just need to get to Plasma as fast as possible. So without getting too like specific into matchups, like for the most part, I just wanted to give that quick tip about the increase. Don't be too greedy, because there is a chance he'll draw into it if you haven't seen him yet. He likes to do that. That's his purpose in life. Other than that, deck is a lot more consistent, so you'll be able to do your combos a lot more. As you can see from the replays, we did our hero stuff more often, and when we did it, we won games, right? So the deck has a lot of potential. It's still just a good fun rogue deck. As far as how well it'll do in the KC Cup, we'll see. I will try a day 2 and just kind of see how it goes. I mean, I wouldn't mind trying to get some Chronicle stuff, but yeah, that's pretty much the deck. I had a lot of fun. We did 12-game win streak, so if you want to see proof of that, that's on the last replay. As you can see, it says win streak 12. You'll see that there. But if you guys have any questions about the deck, feel free to ask questions down below in the comments. This deck is not like the perfect build. If you want to try 30 card builds, 28 cards, 26 cards, whatever, you want to throw in some hand traps, because now you can take the hand trap and put it to the bottom of your deck, and then you can go to your combo, go for it. I would like to see different builds. I mean, this is just something I whipped up when I saw this skill, and I figured this was the best way to play it. And then I just brought it on stream, went to town, and it worked out. It worked out really well. So a lot of people now I'm seeing on Duel Links meta are playing the deck this way. I've seen some people try slightly bigger builds, but most people are playing it kind of like almost identical. So that's really cool. That people are enjoying the deck and seeing the deck do well. So thank you guys so much for all the support as always. I'll do my best to keep trying to push out more content. It just will have to be more simplified, not as highly detailed, because of just my current demands in life. So I will just try to keep doing pretty basic stuff to just kind of make sure that I'm not ignoring YouTube, because I love the platform and I want to add to it. It's just I can't always just do like Yu-Gi-Oh stuff in the same way that I used to do it. So I appreciate all your support. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed all the replays and the feedback and the notes on the deck. And like I said, if you have any more questions, feel free to leave them down below, and I'll do my best to answer each and every one of them. Thank you so much, and take care.